Hey.
Good morning. Where
Hi,
are we?
everybody.
Are we in here?
Are we? There we are. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I have my cup of tea, a little green tea with some peach action going because I need
Oh,
it. I need it.
that sounds yummy. I like
Mm.
peach tea. I have my coconut coffee. I love my
Coconut.
It's a staple in this house. We buy it from Cape May. They ship it to us. It's my favorite coffee.
Oh, that
So
sounds really good.
I hope some mamas jump on today. And mamas, if you jump on, can you please let us know you're here? Because through the stream, we can't really tell unless you can tell, T. Are you looking at both?
I can't tell.
Mhm.
This is all still a little bit new to me. So, yeah. But this is
This
so
is
nice.
it's fun because we're simulcasting from multiple platforms, but there's this little chat box on the side, mamas. If you can just say like a wave or hey, I'm here, I'm listening. Um, I thought it'd be cool to kind of talk about the mamas who watched our podcast last night and how you're feeling and if that's relatable to you. I loved the post that the statistics that you posted yesterday to about how what was it 93% of mothers feel um,
Burnt
overwhelmed,
out. Yeah.
burnout, and then there was a percentage that are just kind of like done, but it was said in a much better way.
They feel burnout all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the seasons, the time of the year, has to do with our kind of mama mojo. At least it does for me. I just came back from a quick trip to Florida and it's like shell shock coming back here to this weather. It is complete and utter shell shock. We're there, it was like, wow, people live like this every day and get to wake up to this beauty. Not to not appreciate the beauty we wake up to, but it's just different. So,
Yeah.
and it's a great different.
It's a big difference. Like warmth is so comforting.
Yeah, comforting is a great word.
Yeah. And like being cold is just like isolating. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I find myself more wanting to be inside than outside and moving and grooving. But when I was in Florida, like I didn't want to be inside at all. I was outside. We have the inlet right at the corner. So I'm like doing my walks, walking to the beach, just like kind of taking it all in. The water was even so warm I went in it. And it's
Nice.
February, So as much as it's a refresher to kind of do something quick like that on the fly, you also come back to this and you're like, it's taken me a moment to catch back up to where I left off.
Yeah, I totally feel that. I went to New York City for a few days and it temperature was not different, but the energy is definitely different.
Yeah, that's your jam. So you probably
Yeah.
felt like you were with your people, right?
I love it. I love how busy it is. I love like the intersections and like trying to cross the street and like the whole vibe of people just everyone's so busy and like I've got something to do. I love that.
You're going to be in New York and I'm going to be in Florida and we're going to be podcasting from there one day.
Like Mark and I had somewhere to go and it was like 25 blocks away.
Hmm.
And I was like, let's just walk because
Yeah.
I love it. So we were like, okay, we'll walk. And I wasn't paying any attention at all. I was like letting him direct.
You're taking
And
it
we
all in.
Oh yeah, I was enjoying everything. And then
Yeah.
I looked up and I was like, wait, we passed the street like 5 blocks ago.
But that's great. You were able to like just be in that present moment and soak it in and feel good. And that's so important, you know? And it's
Yeah,
silly at the same time. You're like, I was having so much fun that we passed it. So,
I know. I was like, look at this, look at that. Ah. Yeah, and
yeah.
it's really nice because like we spend a lot of time looking at buildings too. So,
Mm-hmm. Like
um,
architecture and how things are made. Yeah. Gives you ideas and
yeah. So
gets
saying to our son Jack, I'm like, aren't you so sad you're gonna miss out on us walking around going, look at that building, look at that building? And he's like,
yeah.
no.
It's funny because I asked my kids too when I came back. I said, I think I'm going to take another trip back in a couple weeks. Do you guys want to come? And my daughter's like, well, I don't want to miss school. I'm like, what? And I'm like, wait, but there's like sand and warm water, and it's just like a mental break away from, oh, well, maybe, I don't know. Like they just weren't on board immediately, where I thought they'd be like, yeah, they missed me when I left. They both, were like, oh my gosh, please don't cry because I'm gonna cry. And I was only gone for a few days, but
Yeah.
I felt kind of guilty being without them there, like watching all the other kids running around.
There's a big difference that's changed like between like preteen and teen because a few years ago I was asked to audition for a show that was going to film in California,
Hmm.
and I would have been gone for like 3 months. And
Mm,
I told Jack that, and he was like he really didn't want me to go. He was just, no, please don't do
heartbroken.
that. Don't be gone that long. If I had said that to him today, he'd be like, eh,
See ya.
you'll
I
FaceTime
know.
me, right?
Yeah,
Eh.
right. Yeah, I know. It's so weird.
Or his concern would be like, what's dad gonna make me for lunch? Or, something like that.
Right. Right. I came home. Ava did the laundry for me. It was so sweet. I was like,
What
thank
a
you,
great,
Ava. Mm-hmm. Because she
wow.
knows. I was like walking back into chaos is, oh, so
Yeah,
that was sweet.
that is really nice.
Even though her room's like the messiest room in the house, at least she did the laundry and she put everybody's away, which I was shocked. I didn't expect her to put everybody's away.
Is
Um,
she messy, like I know where everything is, or messy, like just messy?
she's messy, like I put my stuff there. And I'm like, that's a hot mess. Can we organize that stuff? Oh, that pile of sweatshirts over there, don't move them. Well, can you fold them? Because to me, that looks like a dirty pile of laundry, like thrown down the laundry chute. Like, but she had her plasma infusion last night. We're every 7 days right now, because she's been getting sick and it's the season. And our neighbor, her girlfriend, she's Chase's age, but she's like Ava's like big sister. Like they will forever in life have each other. They just have this super special bond. And she asked her to come over and do it with her. And she said, yeah, and I have like a ton of clothes for you because she's always, growing taller and a size bigger. So Ava's all hooked up, and Katie's like, you like this shirt? Folding it, organizing it, putting it away. What about this? Where do you want these pants? Folds it, organizes it, like took out all her baskets, all her bins. And I was like, dude, that is awesome. And I'm totally staying away from that because it sounds like you've got this. She totally reorganized her room, reorganized all her clothes. I was like, oh my God, I love you. It
That's
was very
awesome.
sweet.
It's awesome that she trusts her enough to touch all of her things.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's a big deal.
yeah. Well, these were all new things too. These were all Katie's old clothes. And I was like, oh, I like that sweater. I'll borrow that sweater. And he was like, you're not borrowing my stuff. I said, you borrow my stuff all the time because we're the same size right now. I said, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be taller than me. So all that stuff will end up being my stuff anyway.
Yeah, I've got my eye on a pair of like work boot sneakers that Jack has.
Hmm. Waiting for him
They're
to grow out of.
they're like a half size too big for me, but I
You'll
think
make him
he's
work.
grown out of them. I think that they can now become mine.
I went into, so Ava goes to bed super early on IGG nights because it kicks her butt. So at 7 o'clock, I put her in my bed. She sleeps with me on those nights. And I laid with her until she fell asleep. And then I got up and was doing my thing. And I realized I took a shower in the kids' bathroom because I didn't want to wake her up. And I got out of the shower and I was like, oh my God, I have no sweatpants. Like I have nothing. And I can't go back in that room because my one dog follows me around everywhere and her nails on the hardwood floor. So I knock on Chase's door and I was like, can I borrow a pair of sweatpants? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm literally like thin in my underwear. Can you give me a pair of sweatpants and just throw them out the door? He's like, here are my comfiest ones. I want them back. I was like, yeah, I'm benefiting from everybody being taller, bigger right now. It's kind of cute.
It's weird.
It is weird. They get taller every day. You're like, whoa, what the heck?
Yeah, my Jack just bounced out of his room and he is running back and forth.
Right now, he's doing his morning routine, his jumping jacks, his running around the bathroom. You can hear him.
He's running around the whole entire floor right now. And
I
he's going
love
back from the bathroom to his room doing laps.
I love that he wakes up with like excitement for the day. Like that is like such a way to be. That is being excited for the day. And he's got all this energy. Like it sounds like he gets some fantastic sleep. What kind of bed does he have? I mean, seriously. I want sleep like that. I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, what time do I have to be on?
Well, he has a full-size bed,
Hmm.
and it's the only bed he's ever really slept in because he never slept in his crib and he never slept in his toddler bed. He
I remember
refused.
that. Yeah.
And then one day I put him in this bed, which is a Murphy bed. It was supposed to be for like guests.
Yeah, like the one that goes up on the wall.
Yeah. So I had
Yeah.
it down and I put him in it to take a nap and he fell asleep and like he's been sleeping in that ever since. So he sleeps in a Murphy bed that's a full-size bed.
But he loves his mattress.
Whatever it is, but I think it's just his natural energy. Yeah, he's running around and he will run for like 10, 15 minutes.
Will he go outside and take a run or no, because it's too dark? Like, will he do that in um, when the seasons change?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, he does. And then he does like these run breaks. Like he's on the computer like every other 13-year-old boy,
Mm-hmm.
but then he bounces up and he runs around for like 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets back on.
Well, he knows how to deal with that anxious energy. That's fantastic. So many people don't know what to do with that anxious energy. It like morphs inside of them, kind of like what we talked about last night in our podcast.
Yeah.
Mamas, if you didn't get a chance to watch, please go back and watch because I feel like it is so relatable to so many moms right now that are just like feeling pressure and you know, February was kind of like blah. Now we're into March and that's great. So please write in, ask us what you want to hear us talk about. Um, we're moving and grooving, but we want to hear from you. We love hearing from you. So if you're on, like, send us a comment.
Yeah.
Or an email.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, an email will be good. That's private. So
yeah, if you feel like you don't want to publicly say like, hey, I'm watching, totally send an email. That's a great idea.
that is a nice thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Yeah,
hope
and I do have to say though about Jack because he's still running. Is that sometimes when I get up and I didn't sleep well, and I'm like, and then I hear the boom, 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 and I'm like,
why today, right?
Most of the times it makes me smile, but sometimes it's like, grr, please. Why why is there an explosion when you wake up?
Can you be a little quieter? No.
Today? No? Okay. It's not in your nature to be quiet. Got it. Check.
I pulled a Gabby card this morning when I first got up, so I'll read it. It is, I'm ready to go big, rise up, and step into my power.
Mm.
And I think, again, mamas, I'm going to repeat, if you watched last night's podcast, I think this was a pretty good like wake up call for coming off of that.
Yeah, how to step into your power. That's a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm. The struggle is real, but just recognizing it's something that you want and putting it out into the universe to manifest, finding ways to do it, grabbing yourself a life coach, grabbing yourself a good book, something to help guide you.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to like put the pieces together and something to help do that.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I think so many mamas, and we talked about this in our podcast, are just so afraid to ask for help. And you think you're supposed to have it all together. And I think the wiser and the older that we've grown, right, exactly. It's like, no, we were never supposed to have this all together. We're learning as we go. And each child is different. And each, you have so many different personalities and souls coming in, and the way you do things isn't going to be the way, your partner does it, or your son or your daughter or whatever. So you're not alone. You are
No.
not
If
alone.
there's someone who knows, who seems to know everything and is on top of everything, it's probably not exactly right on. We're all trying to figure something out.
Yeah. Or if they're really on top of everything and have it together, there's some inwardness that they're missing because they're trying to stay on top of everybody's everything. What about them?
Mm.
And that's like the biggest piece of all of this. Momming isn't easy. The first day of Lent was yesterday, and a group of mom friends from school and I were in a group chat, and we were like, so can we give up momming for 30 days? Is that like a thing?
So, a long time ago when I was very sick and I couldn't get out of bed and the kids were younger, and I kind of had to give up momming for a little while. When I remember coming down the stairs one day when I was feeling up to it, there was like an umbrella on the couch and like a paper bag of stuff and laundry. Like it was like the most random objects.
Were you like, WTF? Really?
It was a nice day. There was no rain. But it was just like, why? What? And then Mark does this thing where he washes the dishes as he's using them so he doesn't ever have to use the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always like wet
Dishes.
dishes, but he doesn't turn them over. He like everything's like this, so it collects the water. So there's just like dishes all over the place that are cleanish.
But we don't wipe them down and put them away. And you're like,
No, because we're going to use them again in 4 hours. So why would you put them away?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
that's what happens when you step away for a little while. It's like
Mm-hmm.
everyone's fine.
Yeah, and they'll
They were
survive.
fed.
You know what? Yeah.
It was just confusing to me.
Yeah, because you're like, where do I start? You're right.
Because that's the thing is like it doesn't have to be exactly where I want it to be. It's that then they all ask me where it is. Where is the umbrella? I don't know.
Right.
You guys put it in some random place where I don't know, so I can't help you.
Right.
So in tidying up the house, I know where the things are, so I can help my family.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like, just put it down where you last used it, I don't know where that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chase was doing some homework in his room last night, and I went in later than I wanted to say goodnight because I like to go to bed early. And I was like, dude, is that going to make it in your bag in the morning? Because it's sitting here, and I'm not your keeper of things. So tomorrow morning, make sure that comes down, or you're gonna be in trouble at school. I don't know. I didn't know it was there. I happened to walk in again for like the third time to tuck you in for the last time, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna need a reminder.
Mm. See, I do this thing with Jack where if he needs to bring something to school the next day and he's like on his computer,
Mm-hmm.
I put it on the bed where he's going to sleep.
Mm-hmm. So he has
Right,
to put it away.
right in the
Yeah.
middle. So he has to touch it.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And he
That's
might not
good.
put it where it's supposed to go, but like he's going to touch it somehow because his body
Mm-hmm.
needs to lay there.
Yeah. Chase will just lay next to it, on top of it, or move it to the side so it'll fall on the floor. So that doesn't really work for us. I've tried that. But I do these sticky notes now like when he opens his computer as reminders, because I'm really trying to help him focus in on like, remember to bring this home, remember to bring that home, because he gets very much overwhelmed. Like he'll leave one class, go to the next class, and forget anything he was supposed to do in that class. And he's not great about organization and writing it down, where I was completely different. And so was Ava, just different mindset. And I feel like that piece of paper in the laptop has been helping. So he opens it up and he's got to do, bring home. It's like a sticky note, XYZ. So far, so good. It's been working, but we'll see if it sticks.
Mm,
Trying to
that's really
create good
helpful.
habits, trying to get him to get into the mindset of write this down, put it on your laptop so you don't forget to ask this teacher about this, or, ask about that.
That's really
So
helpful.
anything we can do, mamas, to help each other and give ideas. Like, we don't know it all. Again, we're learning as we're going. And I'll tell you what, I sat at a restaurant down in Florida, and it was just me, my grandmom, and my aunt. And I saw a couple with two young kids. And I looked over, and we're on the bay. It's beautiful. And I laughed and I said, I remember when I thought that was a good idea. The baby's crying, the mom's like this, trying to eat, the dad has the other one climbing all over the things, and I'm like, oh my God, no, just don't go or get a babysitter because they
Or
look so
bring a
stressed out.
babysitter.
Or bring a babysitter. Right, right.
You
Oh
need
my.
one more grown up than child in that situation.
I always said, I'm like, if we're outnumbered, we're in trouble. Like if we were in the position where we were outnumbered and we had like four kids, like we're in trouble. But
For sure. For
mhm.
sure. It looks like, it sounds like, and like you remember going with your parents or someone
Uh-huh.
and it was lovely from your perspective.
Not with like a 9 month old and a 2 year old, and then you got the bay right there. I'm like, someone's fallen in. They didn't, but just it didn't look like it was going well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and the
That's not a
older,
vacation.
no, and the older, it really is. It really, really, and I know we say this over and over, but the bigger kids, the bigger problems.
Yeah.
And I look at parents that have 2 and 3 year olds, and they're like, oh, I'm so this, I'm so that. And I'm like, you have no idea. Can you just step back for a moment and give yourself grace and just love them babies? Because they're going to be grown-ups forever. My kids are bigger than me now. they're not getting smaller. So,
No.
mamas, we're here for you. We want to hear what you have to say, the struggles you're dealing with. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and harvestingyou.com. Jump on the link tree. Um, there's so many opportunities and ways. We want to spotlight another extraordinary mama. You could be that mama. Everybody has a story. So reach out to us.
Yes.
And happy Thursday. I was going to say Monday. And I was like, no, it's definitely not Monday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. It's like a 3 cup of coffee morning, I think.
For
I feel
sure.
it coming.
I'm headed there now.
Yeah, I don't think I should ever give my son coffee, though.
Maybe after he runs around, but then maybe he'll be running himself to school. I mean, I don't know.
So his father likes the coffee,
Mm-hmm.
but his father is giving up the caffeine again.
Mm.
Years ago, we went to a restaurant in town, and it was like a ladies who lunch kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
Mark showed up, he met me there. He proceeded to grip the table, like his veins were popping out. He was
What's
gripping the
wrong?
table, and he says, "Is it the red can or the green can that's caffeine?" It's the
Is this why? Is this why we gave up coffee?
He did for a while. He goes in cycles.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's how my son would be.
Yeah.
Is it the red can or the green can?
That's funny. You know, the one thing I've learned about coffee through the last, 6 months of this new journey is that making sure it's organic and it's not sprayed with all the pesticides, it's actually really good for your brain.
Yeah.
So having a regular, like if you have coffee the same time every day is important. And it can help. But if you're going to drink it with all like the crap, like you have to find out what's in it. Unfortunately, the FDA does not. I had to help Chase on I know we have to go, but I had to help Chase on some science project, and I learned everything about acidic acids. And I was like, ew, did you know that acidic acids are in our cleaning products? But then it's also in mustard and ketchup and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
That is that. No. And
Yeah.
if you inhale it properly, you could die. It could shut down your liver functions. There was like all this, but wait, we can eat it because of the way it's processed. I'm like, that is a mind-blowing and not okay. That is not okay.
No, but they need those acids to like stabilize the food, and
Oh,
there's lots of reasons why. But yeah, that's why we try to not have processed food.
yeah. Yeah. Same.
A little bit is
I know.
okay.
Yeah. My kids love ketchup, but so do I.
Well, ketchup is like sugar delivery. Hello.
Ketchup and some French fries. My husband just had to go off dairy. He's off of like everything. So he just looks at us and salivates as we're eating.
Welcome to my world.
He's not.
I should make him a care package of like.
You should make
it my world.
You know what? He would totally appreciate some of your recipes,
where we don't eat gluten or dairy or alcohol or
yeah. Well, he doesn't do any of that. He can eat meat though. That is something that is on his list, grass fed. So and like ahi tuna, and he's getting very creative with his diet and all the new things. But when I tell you he has cut like some serious stuff, and it's changed a ton. It's amazing what food does to our body and how it's all connected.
And it hurt though in the process of change. It hurts though. It's uncomfortable. He must have been going through a lot.
Mm-hmm. Still is. We'll get there.
Yeah. That's it's hard to like humans and our addiction to dairy, and it just
Mm.
lights our brains up.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you
Cheese.
go off of it, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Jeez.
cheese. That's his clutch. And I was like, see, I don't know. I guess this whole nutritional things that started back with Ava now, like I can come and go. I mean, yeah, I'd love like a brownie every now and then, but when I eat something and I recognize clearly my stomach didn't like that, I now am like, I shouldn't eat that.
Yeah.
Where in teenage years, I'd be like, oh, we're going through McDonald's again. Can I get more fries? Can I get my fry? Not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know we could talk forever. Happy Thursday morning.
Happy Thursday morning. I hope you have
I
a gorgeous day.
You too. And mamas, we wish you awesome mojo for today. And we'll see you soon.
We will.
All right.